branch leader here at the Asheboro Allen Tate office. Thank you, Lolita, so much for agreeing to do this with me.
Well, more importantly, thank you so much for asking me. I am absolutely honored
Well, of course,
to be a part of this.
Of course. So, when I first joined Allen Tate, Lolita hired me, and I was fresh out of real estate school, and I just felt at home with you. I mean, from the first day that I met you, I knew that this was the place that I was going to stay at for a long time, and I didn't even interview with any other brokerages.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah,
made a good decision.
Yes, yes, definitely did. And I think it speaks a lot to how we have developed our relationship from the beginning to now. I mean, you recommended me for this position that I have now, so I'm eternally grateful for that. And I just can't thank you enough. So I really do refer back to you when other people ask me about what should a branch leader look like, or what should they do with their new agents, and I always think about you and give examples of what you do with new agents. So with that, I wanted to ask, how do you decide on who you are going to recruit when you're interviewing an agent? Is there a tell that, you know, lets you know, okay, this is somebody who is trainable, who can be mentored into developing their skills?
Absolutely. You know, I see a lot of people, and it is well known out in the real estate community. Allen Tate doesn't hire everyone that we interview. There's a certain thing, you know, the it factor that we're looking for. If you come into my office first out and you immediately ask me, well, what is my split going to be? Well, you know, your split's going to be 0% of nothing because you don't have any business yet. If I ask you what brought you to real estate and you tell me it's because I like looking at pretty houses, well, that's something you can do on your own time on an open house.
Yeah.
But if you come to me and you say, I believe that real estate is a career that is for me. I don't want to do the traditional 9 to 5. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to build generational wealth. I would like to learn how to do investing for myself or my family. You have pointed out to me that this is the business for you. And my second follow-up question is going to be, are you prepared to work 50 to 60 hours per week? You're a business owner.
Yeah.
You're a 1099 employee. No one is going to pay you unless you go out there, get some business, and you're going to pay yourself.
Yeah.
So those are the things that I look for.
Yeah.
A desire.
Yeah.
To do it.
And the drive. And
Absolutely.
the commitment.
Absolutely.
Overall, I think.
And that can come from anyone. Whether you are 18 years old or 60 years old. But it's all about your intentions as a productive agent. We have to have a plan. We're going to follow the plan. I will hold you accountable. I have every intention to have every agent that works for me to hold me accountable. And I think what's most important to me is having hands-on time with my agents. I don't list or sell anymore. So their business is my business. And I am devoted to them to help them grow their business.
Yep. And I can tell, I mean, I definitely was calling on you when I had any sort of question.
Yeah.
And I feel like that has really affected, and I guess it has spread throughout that office. This office specifically is that culture of you can come to me with questions.
Absolutely.
And we're going to help you, and we're not going to let you fail and fall on your face. We're going to give you advice, and if we can't do it, we can't help you,
We'll
we're going
find
to
it.
call Lolita, or we're going to call
We'll
the
figure
lawyer,
it out.
or we're going to find somebody.
Yeah,
But I have never
absolutely.
felt like I was on my own here. I know now that I onboard a lot of new agents, especially from other companies, and I ask them every single time, what was it like at your previous company? What made you move or come here? And they said 9 times out of 10, it's always, there was no mentorship.
Yeah.
Nobody taught me how to do anything. Nobody wanted to help me. Nobody would answer questions.
Right.
And they were all, you know, a lot of times people describe them as just sharks.
Yes.
Like very, very competitive. And I feel like here in Asheboro and throughout Allen Tate, honestly, but I feel like I felt it the most here.
Sure.
Where everybody is just very willing to give a helping hand and give you good advice and
Absolutely.
good mentorship. And they're
Right.
not intimidated by new agents. Everybody is very well established, I feel like, and they're not you know, that competitive. They
Right.
very much want to lift you up and want you to do well as well.
It's friendly cooperation and competition.
Mm-hmm.
If you are in real estate, you have a competitive edge.
Yeah.
You have to, otherwise you won't survive.
Yep.
But our competition does not go to the point of, I'm going to cut you off at the knees.
Yeah.
It's that I'm going to do better for myself, therefore I will get better results.
Yep.
But I don't have to harm you to do that.
Yep.
And I believe that is something that is resounding throughout the Allen Tate footprint.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because agents that don't subscribe to that typically don't make it.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yep.
You know,
I feel like they forget that we still have to work with these people. Mm-hmm. You may have a deal with that agent that you're competing against in the future, and you just never know. I mean, everything is so intertwined, and new things come up all the time. You never know who can help you and who you can help.
And people don't forget.
Yep, that's true.
You know,
people do not forget.
Maya Angelou said that people may not remember what you said to them, but they will always remember how you made them feel.
That's true. That's very, very true.
So it's my point in being a branch leader to make sure that you always remember how I made you feel, even if I have to correct you.
Mm-hmm.
That the correction was a lesson well learned, and that you will grow from that. Because that's just part of being a human being.
Yep. Yep. So. And I think it really is dependent on the agent now, how they take that criticism.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yep. Because I feel like, if you just shame yourself, that doesn't help anybody.
No.
That doesn't help you. That doesn't help the branch leader.
Mm-mm.
That just kind of drains you.
It does.
But if you can take that feedback and just take it as constructive criticism,
we move on.
Yep. Listen to those who know better than you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best. You always want to have somebody smarter than you around you.
Of course.
That's the goal for any career, honestly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Last night I was on a conversation with one of my very, very experienced agents, and it was so uplifting to me. She called me and she said, I have an addendum from an investment company. I need you to review this addendum because I don't want to do harm to my client. And I want to make sure that the language is something that we're okay with, or do I need to go to an attorney? Yeah. She emailed it over. I reviewed it. I called her back. We talked about it. There was really nothing in there that was harmful. It's very standard.
Yeah.
But I was so uplifted by the fact that an agent who's been in it for 30 years trusted me enough to come to me as the first step before going to legal to make sure.
Yeah.
So that is very important to me, that my first day agent is as comfortable as my 30-year agent.
Yeah. Yep. And I feel like they definitely see that.
I think
definitely see that.
I think so.
Especially with all the new form changes coming and all the law changes, real estate changes like that.
Overnight.
Like, so quickly. And decisions are made and new rules are implicated and from night to day, you basically have to do everything completely different than you've been doing it for like past 30 years.
Absolutely.
So to have this mentorship in which you are a part of a larger leadership team in which you have a legal team behind you and you've got speakers and conferences and meetings that all help you understand all of these changes and how to best communicate them with your agents. We see that all the time, especially during the NAR lawsuits with buyer's agency commission, that whole ordeal. If you don't know about that, that was a huge
Check with
deal.
your branch leader.
Yeah, it's still a huge deal.
Yes, it is.
People still have questions about it. People still misunderstand it. Buyers still don't understand it. And sellers still misunderstand it.
And it's ever evolving.
Yep.
This is not the last that we're going to see of that. There will be more changes coming.
Yep.
So, I feel like if you're in real estate and you can't handle change, this is probably not the career for you.
No.
Because there's going to be something changing every day. Yep. Even if it means that your client changes their mind and you have to start all over again.
Yeah.
It's change and you just have to roll with it.
Yeah. There is no plan that you can follow.
No.
The only plan you can follow is your business plan. Keep doing what you're doing, and your marketing plan.
Yes.
Keep doing what you're doing.
And your financial plan.
Yep, that too. Yep.
Because even... and I think that's super important that I work out with my agents a financial plan, and especially my new agents. Okay, I know that you have no money. I know you don't. But let's talk about, do you have $50? Can you skip out on Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or McDonald's for a month and save up $50 that we can use to market yourself. That's a financial plan.
Yep.
Until you make a commission. And then we'll work on a different financial plan because you have a little bit of money to play with.
Yeah.
But you've got to have that business plan, that marketing plan, that financial plan, and also a life plan.
Mm-hmm.
This job can consume you. So I work out with them. I want you to do 3 open houses a month. What are you going to do for your other days off? And maybe that day off is not on a Saturday or Sunday. Maybe it's on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do on that Wednesday to devote only to you?
Yeah.
Because you've got to feed back into yourself.
Yep.
So
a lot of people don't realize realtors work 7 days a week.
absolutely.
You don't have a day off because you don't get to choose when your client has a day off from their 9 to 5 or when they don't have, their kids and they can actually go and tour homes and stuff like that. You're on your client's schedule. And if you have multiple clients, you're on multiple people's schedule.
Absolutely.
And
one of the things that I really stress is calendar management. I live by my calendar.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not in my calendar, and I've said this to you 100 times, if you're not in my calendar, you don't exist.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to remember.
Yeah.
But I tell my new agents, let's do calendar management in that you designate a time that is for you. And if a client should call you and say, oh my gosh, I want to go see this house Wednesday at 1:30, but you have carved out that time for you, this is your answer. Oh, wow. I have another appointment Wednesday at 1:30. However, I can see you Tuesday at 3 or Thursday at 9. Which time works better?
Mm-hmm.
No one wants to go to the person that's always available.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you are trying to make a doctor's appointment and you're calling on Monday to go to see them on Tuesday, and they're like, yeah, come on. Why don't you have other patients?
Yeah.
So you have to be protective of that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you also have to carve that time out, let it be written in stone, but you have to be available the other times.
Yep. You have to be very flexible.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people don't realize that they need to dedicate their full time to this job, and sometimes they just want to come in and do this part-time.
No.
I don't think that you can really succeed to the level that you want to succeed unless you just want to do referrals and something here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to really succeed, this is a
Full-time
full-time and overtime job.
It's the hardest you're going to work for yourself.
Yep.
You are going to work, you're an independent contractor, you're a small business owner, you're going to work really, really hard.
Yep. And you do everything here, honestly.
Yeah.
You do everything for yourself. Nobody is going to do the work for you, get the clients for you, get the leads for you. That's what I like about Allen Tate, even though it's very difficult. But we really focus on helping agents grow their business organically instead of buying leads, because that could be a whirlwind when you are having to deal with a lead from Zillow or from whatever else.
And it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, with me, I always, when I'm interviewing an agent, and I tell them whether you decide to work for me or not, or whether I decide to hire you or not, when you leave here today, I'm going to give you a tidbit of advice. You need to have a sheet of at least 100 people that know you, like you, they want you to succeed. They need to be your cheerleaders. And I'm talking maybe your parents' friends, your people down the street, people you went to high school or college with. You need their name, email, phone number, and mailing address. There's your core to get started. Those people want to hear from you. They want to be able to refer to you as, this is my realtor.
Yep.
They will send you more business than you will ever get on a cold call.
Yep.
So start that now, so that when you do enter into your real estate career, you have something to get started with. And we have the tools and resources at Allen Tate to help you make that work for you.
Yes, we do.
But if you're trying to pull that list together, when you're trying to do an open house and you're trying to take desk duty and you're trying to figure out, how do I make the copier work? That's not the time. Do it now.
Yeah. You want to have that prepared before you get started on your plan. Because once you have your plan, what are you going to do if you don't have any people?
Right. Who you going to talk to?
Exactly.
And
it's much harder to talk to a stranger than it is to
oh
someone
my
that you
gosh,
see every day.
yes. Yeah. And I mean, if you're talking to your people that live on your street, they know you.
Yeah.
Even if they don't know your name, they know your car when you drive down the street. They know you and your dog when you walk down the street. You have got to bury your apprehension about talking to strangers, and you got to be everybody's friend. Talk to them.
Can't be shy.
Can't hide your light under a bushel.
Can't be a secret agent.
No, absolutely not.
Everybody needs to know that you're doing real estate.
Absolutely. And I mean, you know, with our new agents, we buy them a name tag, and I'm like, wear your name tag everywhere you want to go.
Yep.
Unless you really don't want to be bothered.
Yep.
Don't wear your name tag. But if you're in the grocery store, people are going to come and talk to you when they see that Allen Tate name tag. And they're going to say, oh, you're in real estate. Well, yes, I am. How's the market? You need to have the answer.
Yep, you need to be up to date on everything.
Gotta be ready.
It changes so fast, but you need to study the MLS sheet and you need to know what's going on in your neighborhoods, in your zip code, in your local area. You need to be in the know about it.
Gotta be in the know about it. Absolutely.
Even new businesses, when the school district changes. I know they're going through that in Forsyth County a lot. Right now, specifically, when there's new road changes, when there's new businesses coming, all of that affects
all the things.
All of your clients and where they're going to buy.
We do not ask our agents to be the knowledgeable expert about everything, but you need to know a little bit about everything, and most importantly, you need to have resources to direct them to if they need more in depth. If they ask you about, well, what's that land over on Smith Street, what's that going to become? Well, I know that that's going to be a corporate office moving in. I don't know much more than that. However, let me have you talk to the EDC, the Economic Development Corporation. We'll get you more details. Now, once that conversation is over, I would suggest that you go and find out.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to follow up with that person, but then I'm going to be more knowledgeable for the next person.
Yeah. Yep. Because it's coming and people are going to have questions. They see the
and we need to know.
development and the signs.
We need to know.
Yeah. We got to know what's going on in our area.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I am very, very grateful for having you here. I'm so thankful for you. Honestly, I don't think I'd be here without you.
You're so sweet.
And I really mean that because I was lost for a long,
That's
long time.
We got you found.
Yeah, I feel like I'm definitely growing into the person I want to be now.
Well, I will say that the young woman that came to me as a brand new, fresh out of the box agent, you have morphed into a true career with Allen Tate as our marketing and technology specialist. And the Lord knows, I come to you with things, I'm like, Nancy, I don't know how to make this work. And you have the knowledge to make it work. So it's a true, honest benefit for me to say to new agents and more experienced agents, when it comes to marketing and technology, I have the person who's going to take care of you. And I can say that with full confidence. And I'm so thankful that that person is you.
Well, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
That means a lot to me. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. And this has been The Real Realtor Life with Lolita Malave.